Chris.
Hey, everybody. How are you all doing out there? Welcome all to the GM Game Show. I'm Chris from Goodweek Game Sports. I'll be your host, and we have an eclectic crew of gentlemen tonight, or today, or this morning, or whatever it is. Dio, would you like to start, sir?
Hey, Diabolical One, Judge, Jury, Executioner. Let's get these sports comments going. I'm ready to roll.
Let's go, Corey.
It's Corey, a.k.a. Sports Nut. How y'all doing out there?
Hot Rod.
Hey, I'm Hot Rod. Hot Rod's on Sports on TikTok with the Married to Sports podcast with my guy Brandon. Brandon, go ahead.
It's your boy Rook right here, ready to take on the old guys. Your new school's coming to beat up the old guys right now. Let's go. Let's get it. I'm ready.
All right, young man. It's on. Let's go. All right, we'll be getting our first question here in just a moment. But you guys didn't know this. There's some sponsors out there that we have, which we will be talking about a little later in the show. So we're going to get going here. And don't forget, our host network is Powerlifting News USA, bringing all sports all the time, everywhere. All right, and the first question. Dun, 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 dun.
Nah, he's a 5-level scorer.
He's a walking bucket.
Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Kevin Durant. That was the one that I retired without really having to being able to figure out what it is that he, how I can stop him.
Why?
He can pull up left. He can pull up right. He can shoot the long ball. He has runners, left hand, right hand. Couldn't really figure out. Is this a rhythm thing? I'm trying to count the seconds that he takes to make his moves. When does he make them? At what times in the game? I couldn't really figure out that rhythm yet. So I retired not being able to figure him out.
Is Kevin Durant the most unstoppable scorer ever, folks? Dio, start us off.
So, seeing him on the Rocket this year, I wasn't sure what to expect. I tell you what, he is gelling there in Houston. I've been watching him the past few nights on certain things I like to do in the evenings, and he has been coming through clutch with my picks on him. But I'm going to tell you, I got to agree with that. He is still going like the Energizer Bunny. This guy may look long in the tooth, but he's out there biting some ankles. He hadn't lost a beat, in my opinion. You can put him in any uniform, and he's still going. I love it. I love to see what he's doing. I think Houston's going to be a dark horse in the West, and I'd like to see where this ends up this year because he is bringing it to the boards.
Nice.
That's all
nice
I got on him.
I like it. Corey.
Kevin Durant, I will say, is a very unstoppable scorer, but is he the most unstoppable scorer ever? I can't say yes. The most unstoppable scorer I've seen in my lifetime was Larry Bird. Larry Bird could sit there and tell you where he was going to shoot, what he was going to do. He would tell his opponents and still be able to do it. Durant is a heck of an athlete. I love Durant. He has all phases of the game, but when it comes to the most unstoppable scorer ever, I cannot say that. I'd have to go with Larry Bird on that one.
Good take. All right. The Rook, the young man, the child. Let's go.
I'm a little disappointed that you guys made me go last on my Texas guy, but since y'all did, I'll go ahead and beat y'all up anyway.
Hold on. You're not.
No, I'm just playing. Huh?
Rod's last.
Oh.
Hey, thanks, guys.
I thought Rod already went. My bad. Sorry, I had something to do with myself. Anyway, Kevin Durant is a very great scorer. I'm not gonna say the most unstoppable. I mean, you got Kobe that dropped 81. You got Kobe that closed out his career with 61. I've not seen Kevin Durant do that. Now he was a really good two-way player. Now he's just a great scorer. But when you're sitting 6'11", almost 7 foot, who are you gonna put on you unless it's the center? With this positionless basketball, we've seen it where we're getting those matchups. If Kevin Durant was the most unstoppable scorer ever, he'd have more than just the 2 rings he got riding the coast of Golden State.
Good take. Hot Rod, let's go.
You know, he's not. Is he one of the most complete players of all time? Absolutely. He can shoot the three. He's great from mid range. He's great from two, but not the most complete scorer. To me, Michael Jordan was the most complete scorer. He was really feared. Michael Jordan was really feared. You know, anytime he wanted to fly through the air, everybody got out his way. He knew when he stuck that tongue out, you knew he was going to score no matter what it was. And he is one of the guys, top three guys I'd want as with the ball in his hand in the last 3 seconds of the game.
Man, that's crazy. I don't know how you're gonna take Jordan when Kobe dropped 33 on his head off the bench.
Yeah, Jordan was like 112 then, but that's okay. Different story, different time, different
It was the
place.
97 season. Don't worry about it. It was in the middle of his three-peat. Don't worry about it.
I always
12, 17, 97. Don't worry about it.
blah, 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 blah. All right, young man. So, all right, gentlemen. I'm already nixing Brandon just because it's Durant and it's his Texas guy, so he's got a you know what for him. So, see you stick a fork in you. Now, in regards to unstoppable scorer ever, I mean, you got to go with Bird, Wilt Chamberlain, Dr. J, obviously Michael Jordan. And I will give Kobe, I will say Kobe was freaking phenomenal. But for the W on this one, I think I am going to go with, God, this was a tough one. As we know, the youngster's gone. I'm going to go with Dio. I liked his gelling because it's a team effort, bringing everybody together. Dio, good job.
Appreciate it.
He paid you.
Not yet. Not yet.
So how much was that one worth? How much was that one worth?
That's what I was asking.
$3.75. Let's go. All right, folks. The Cardinals, the worst team in baseball.
Absolutely not.
Corey.
Absolutely not. I mean, really, you've got the Chicago White Sox that is a train wreck. You got the Pittsburgh Pirates that are always a train wreck. And then you've got whatever team in the AL that decides to be a team wreck, or, you know, a total wreck. St. Louis is finally doing something that St. Louis should have done a few years ago. They're starting to go, they're bringing their youth up. They're trying to get the youth in there and then add pieces to it. And I like that style. They still have a couple players they need to get rid of to be able to do that. But no, when it comes to the worst baseball team, it is by far not the Cardinals. There's just no way. I mean, I will always pick. It was the worst team. I will always pick either the Pirates or the White Sox. Have you met the White Sox's owner?
I haven't met him personally, but met a few of the presidents. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dio, you're next.
No, the Cardinals are not the worst team in baseball. They've been dancing around that for a couple of years now. They did just change out their general managers. They are going to go ahead and roll with Ollie one more year just to see if he can manage the talent they're going to bring up. There is also a report I saw that Arenado and the Cardinals have agreed. It's not finalized yet, but they both have agreed to part ways. Arenado will be going somewhere for somebody this year that's going to possibly be a playoff contender. I think Arenado deserves that. He's a hell of a player. I appreciate his service in St. Louis. But worst team in baseball? Absolutely not. We drafted some great pitchers out of the draft. Two of them coming from Tennessee, which, you know, Tennessee the past couple of years has been a hell of a baseball program. Botello's gone. He's going to San Francisco Giants. But I cannot wait to see the youth that we are about to bring up in St. Louis. And with Ollie still there one more year, they are in talks with Yadier Molina, one of the greatest catchers we had in St. Louis, that's going to come on as part of the coaching staff. And I think if Ollie struggles, they may move on to Molina. But I would look for the Cardinals the next couple of years to start spanking some ass, boys.
Copy that. I'm gonna put that in my notes. Spanking some ass. All right. Hot Rod, let's go.
The Cardinals have never really been the worst organization in baseball. They've had great talent. You know, they're finally getting that influx of talent, like Dio and Corey said. Honestly, if I had to ask myself who the worst franchise is, it would definitely have to be the Pirates or the A's because you know what? Honestly, they have good talent that they develop and they can always afford to keep that talent. So ultimately, the Cardinals do at least try to remain relevant.
Nice. All right. Since you wanted to be last, you're last.
So, last time I checked, the Rockies are still in existence. Outside of Andres Galarraga and Todd Helton, can you name me 3 Rockies players? Probably not, because they are at the
Bree
bottom of the
Walker,
totem pole. They didn't
Dante
even win 50 games last year. So the Cardinals absolutely are not the worst team in baseball. They're not the worst franchise in baseball. You have a ton of crap before you even get to the Cardinals. We can start with the Colorado Rockies, the A's, the Pirates, the White Sox. Up until this year, the Brewers. Man, the Cardinals are by far not the worst division, not the worst baseball team. I mean, and it's not even close. There's so many teams worse than them.
Copy that. So to answer your question, Larry Walker, Dante Bichette, Mike Hampton, Trevor Story, Troy Tulowitzki. Do you need me
All
to
right,
go?
let's go past 2007.
Oh, okay. Hey, you just said Rockies players, so I just answered.
Oh, you
I
guys.
just meant, I meant in the modern era.
Okay. Since when I played way back when, they didn't have lights and all that,
Let me
right?
match
Anyway,
up with Brandon here because I don't want
You
him to be
tied
on.
Cobb shoes. You tied Ty Cobb shoes for him.
yeah, and your point. Anyway, all right, I like that answer, but I do have to agree with you guys. St. Louis is not the worst team. You do have the Rockies, you do have the Pirates, you do have the White Sox. White Sox had a making of being a great organization. They blew it after they won the World Series back in 2002, and all they've done is gone downhill since then. Look at the Rockies. Rockies had many opportunities, but their ownership is horrible. The A's, they've got a great young core inside them right here, right now. They better start doing something, or that ownership needs to sell before they get to Vegas. I'm kind of done with that owner, by the way. But on the best take, in my opinion, I'm going to give it to the main Cardinals fan here. And guess what? Corey, I'm going to give it to you, sir. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
How old are you? How old are you, Corey? Corey, how old are you?
50.
What's your birth? What month?
June.
Hey, I got him. I got him by a few months. I am the Cardinals fan
I got
here.
you all by years.
Hey,
Got
I
me.
don't care. I don't care.
I was the only one that
Corey
actually
is
named the
a
worst team in
resident
baseball.
Cardinal fan. I was a Cardinal fan before his ass was. So there you go. Just for the record. Just for the record.
I love it.
Actually, I'm
That's
January,
crazy.
so
You're a
You
Braves
don't count.
fan.
You're
You
a
don't
Braves
count.
fan.
You're a Braves fan. Get out of here.
Yeah.
All right,
Man,
guys.
y'all lucky we still ain't in your division. We'd still be whooping y'all.
Hey, you're
Go
lucky they
Astros.
bring the Braves up as one of the worst organizations, Rodney. I was trying to be nice today.
Oh, they were for a while there, too. Let me
Yes,
tell
They
you.
were. All right.
All right, everybody. Is Drake May your 2025 NFL MVP? All right. The Rook. Let's go, kid.
Man, Drake May is putting on an awesome performance, and he is doing so well and has the New England Patriots playing at a high caliber right now. However, for me, he's just not there yet. I think when you look at the MVP this year, I think you really have to look at Matthew Stafford and Jonathan Taylor. Matthew Stafford is throwing multiple touchdowns a game, and I know he's got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and maybe that's not fair, but you know what? Devontae Adams was a free agent, and anybody else had a shot at him too. So I'm not going to hold that against Matthew Stafford. But what Jonathan Taylor has been doing for the Indianapolis Colts, for a running back, you definitely have to look at him, because if it wasn't for him on that last game, that breaking that 80-yard run, they would have not have won that game. Jonathan Taylor is the one that's really keeping the Indianapolis Colts where they are. So for me, you got to look at either Matthew Stafford or Jonathan Taylor.
Good take. I like that. Let's see. Who do we want to go? Let's go Dio.
All right, look. Drake May is doing a great job. He's young. He's got a future ahead of him as long as he stays healthy. I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I don't look at the MVP until after the halfway season point when teams start to show their true colors and when the teams I feel that are going to make the playoffs. Drake May, he lost my Pittsburgh Steelers, which I don't know how they did that, but they did. And it's one of those games I look at because my Steelers are hot dog water, they're dumpster fire, they're garbage right now. I don't know which Steelers team's going to show up and which side of the ball's showing up. Drake May, like I said, has a great future ahead of him. I'm not ready to put a tag on anybody yet as far as an MVP goes, but I'm going to tell you, not to ride Brandon's takes here, but Jonathan Taylor, Matthew Stafford, man, I mean, you could even throw Sam Darnold in there. You could throw about 10 guys on the list right now, but I want to see where they're at in the playoff picture. I want to see who is actually going to be in the playoffs and has it wrapped up, because right now, don't put an MVP on anybody because they might not even be healthy at the end of the year to even be in contention. I mean, you got injuries that could come up. So, great kid, great quarterback. Like I said, I think he's the answer for New England, but not ready to put that on him yet.
Good take. I like that. By the way, all that was clippable. GM, you got to clip that. That was awesome. Anyway, who's next? Who do we got next? We got Hot Rod next.
For me, yes, Drake May's not the MVP this year. I mean, it's year 2, but he has not had that sophomore slump that every quarterback seems to have. But ultimately, the only MVP, if you were to end the season right now, would be Jonathan Taylor. I mean, let's look at what he's done. Multiple touchdowns, multiple 100-plus yards games. And you know what? Really, he has really dominated the season by his running ability and controlled the game where Daniel Jones could go do what he needed to do to win the game.
Good call. That was actually interesting. Nice call, Rod. I like it. All right, old man.
All right, Drake May at halfway point of the year, the MVP race would be with him and Jonathan Taylor, but it's only halfway through the season. A lot of things can change. A lot of things will change. Drake May has had a great season so far. If we were doing it at the midway point, obviously I think Drake May would win only because it's quarterback ridden every year. No offense, quarterback seems to get it every time over a running back. But Jonathan Taylor, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. I mean, you've got so many people right now that could be up for that award. Drake May's done a heck of a job. At the halfway point, I call him the MVP. I will say he's the MVP halfway through the season. But we're only halfway. So I'm like with Dio, I can't put an MVP right now there. We've got to see what happens the rest of the year. But he's in at least the top 5. So he would be in the top 5 if the season ended.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, that's fair. I'll give you that. I do have to say, and I've been saying it since the beginning of the season, I can't pick an MVP till the end. I mean, you guys all know that. I've been saying that straightforward, straight up. But I will say this, as far as the top 3, top 5, JT, absolutely. Stafford, absolutely. As well as Drake May. And I need to see the full season because he's got to stay healthy, so do the other 2 individuals, and hopefully knock on everything. It does stay that way. All right, guys. But I think that the best take on that one for me was Rod. Hot Rod, nice job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So the Casino Insider says halfway MVP. LOL. That's funny. I like that one.
It's true.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. Hey, everybody out there, I hope you're enjoying us on
Don't start this week. Do not start with me this week. But yeah, I can't wait.
So Brian Kelly, do you think What NFL team do we think he will go to?
NFL team?
Is that where we're going? I want to say, yeah. That's where we were going with that one.
Well, all I got to say is no way.
I'm waiting to see if there's more. Hold on, guys.
No, I think the topic's just Brian Kelly. I think
Okay.
we can go on the rant.
All right. So we're going to do Dio last on this one because he puts out some epic stuff. So, Brandon, let's go. Brian Kelly.
I mean, what do you want to know about Brian Kelly? Couldn't get it done in Notre Dame. Couldn't get it done at LSU. He's not going to be able to get it done wherever he goes. I mean, he's just not the guy. I wasn't a big fan of him making the switch down there. I think that Penn State's probably going to look at him. I think that if a pro team looks at him, they're dumb as hell. And every GM that looks at him should be fired. What do you want? This guy should be working at Walmart.
All right. Fair enough. Hot Rod, let's go.
You know, Brian Kelly, we've discussed it a lot. He is really not the leader for programs that you want. Ultimately, I just don't see him getting another job because the LSU thing, you had the kid, and his name escapes me, that had the headaches and ended up with a brain tumor.
Yep.
You know, that left a really bad mark on his career because he could not handle his players right. Ultimately, if he goes to the NFL, I think it would be more Steve Spurrier-esque because nobody would take him seriously. Ultimately, the only place I could see Brian Kelly going back to is Grand Valley State in Michigan, where he won 2 or 3 national championships, because he hasn't done it on the Division I level.
All right. Corey, you're
All
up.
right. Right off the bat, the only way Brian Kelly goes to an NFL team is if that team hires Nico Harrison as their GM. Because he would be the only dumb enough to hire Brian Kelly as a head coach of an NFL team or
They're going
coordinator.
to Walmart together.
So they would be perfect together. But so besides that, he's not going to the NFL. Will he get another college job? Yes, because you have schools out there that are dumb and is going to do it. And I'm going to tell you the school that's going to get Brian Kelly. UCLA will be the next place for Brian Kelly, but he's a bum. That's it.
All right. So we have like 18 minutes left. Dio, I got to keep you down to at least 2, okay?
Okay,
Here
good.
we go.
You're good. Brian Kelly will not be anywhere near the NFL. He will coach college again. There's teams out there that would love to have a 7, 8, 9 win season just to get their program back on track. And if he gets them there, then they're going to be happy with that. And if he doesn't ever progress, which he usually doesn't, then they will then bring somebody in who is sufficient enough to sit there and say, you built the foundation, I'm going to take it over, and I'm going to get them over the hump. Corey stole my number 1 pick landing spot, UCLA, for him, because I think he would want to get back into like a Big Ten pitcher, Big Ten football. I think he would fit right in there. However, I do think Oregon State might be in play for this guy. I think Oregon State may take a chance on him and he ends up in Oregon, at Oregon State. He's going to be a Beaver.
That's actually a good call. I didn't think about Oregon State because they're like 112.
And what's perfect? What's perfect for him? Because the Pac-12 is about to add some teams to where they're gonna start generating some TV and other contracts. Brian Kelly could actually manage to have a winning program in a setting with San Diego State, Boise State. You got Colorado State. It's a bunch of state schools coming in, so I could see him being successful in that slower, lower setting. Because he's special and he's touched.
All right, fair enough. So my thought on Brian Kelly is he needs to retire. I know people are saying that he's going to go to UCLA now, Oregon State. Either retire or go coach some JC ball. I think he's too much of a narcissist to be coaching anymore, and it's time for him to move on. That's just my opinion in regards to that. So, is that me or you guys?
Might be you.
It's always you.
I know. Hang on. Let's
It's
see.
always a giant killer.
There we go. Got it. No, that's not me this time. I thought it was my phone. No, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to give those points to, yeah, definitely not the young guy because he was too quick. At least that's what his lady said. Anyway, I'm going to give that one to. I gotta go Dio. I liked it. The OSU take really threw me for that knuckleball, and I think that's probably a darn good move.
It's just because he's old.
Well, yeah, duh. All right, guys, this is going to be the one that Brandon has to go last. Okay, straight up last. So, Arch Manning, a boom or a bust? Here we go. Dio, go ahead and start it off.
Look, Arch Manning. Look, he has the potential to be a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback right now, but he's not great. Here's the deal. There was so much put on this kid, and he is a kid. Take away his last name. This kid has been ridiculed. He's been, I'm sure, threatened. I mean, you throw the kitchen sink at him, he's probably heard it all. He's having to play through this, and I don't want to sound like I'm coddling him here. You got to think Texas football is on the map. It is a tough school to play at. He does have the last name Manning. This kid is under so much pressure, game in, game out, practice everywhere he goes. He is behind the 8 ball. He definitely needs to stay another year in college, whether it's at Texas or he goes somewhere else and plays under a great quarterback whisperer. But I see the potential of this kid being even better. Not as good as Peyton, but better than Eli. But I think he's definitely got the potential to be an NFL quarterback. He just needs to get with the right coach, the right team, and it could be Texas next year, but he needs to stay another year. He has been put in a bad situation. There's a lot wrong with Texas this year, and he's not the ultimate problem. And that's all I got to say about him.
Copy that. Corey, you're up.
When we talk about Arch Manning being, a boom or bust, you know what? How can he be a bust? He's made it to the highest level of college football. He's leading one of the elite programs. He has a name that, most of us, we had that name, we would be definitely a bust because we wouldn't even be able to make it. This kid's had a lot of pressure. He does not have an offensive line. He does not have receivers, and he really doesn't have a running game behind him. If it had been any other quarterback, that's what we would be talking about. Not is he a boom or bust. Arch Manning is going to be fine. Arch Manning has the pedigree. I've seen the kid since high school. The kid can play. There's no doubt about he can play. But he has to be just like any other quarterback. It's one person. He can't do it all. He has to have the people around him. Look at Caleb Williams this year in Chicago, what he's doing with a semi-halfway decent line and weapons around him. Give Arch what they had last year, and you would have seen Arch of last year this year. But with what he's got right now, no. So he needs to stay another year. And I'm telling you right now, he will be a first-round pick. Maybe not number one, which would be better for him. So, yes, I say Arch Manning's going to be a boom, no bust.
Cool. Good take. I like it. Hot Rod, let's go, baby.
Yes, Texas lost a lot last year to the draft. Let's be real. Arch had two or three starts that really looked good on film, but they were not the elite tier teams. So people got excited over it. In the offseason, I said, don't believe the hype. You have to give him a full year of starting. Ultimately, he is developing nicely. I think he's going to be a boom. I think he will be a first round talent in the NFL. However, I just want to see how it progresses next year because ultimately, that name behind him, we ask all the time, what's in the name? That name behind him is going to carry more weight at any level than anything because of the level of play that Eli, Peyton, Arch had played up to. So he's behind the 8 ball and always will be.
Copy that. I like it. Good take, Rod. Okay, Brandon. Breathe. And go.
So I think he's absolutely a boom, and I'll tell you why. If you look at that first game at Ohio State, he came out that first half. He was throwing balls in the dirt. He was throwing them high, and he was a little shaky, man. When you make that jump, it's a jump. Maybe he wasn't quite ready for it. The year before, he played a couple high school teams. Let's be honest. He played really well against those high school teams, which showed me that he belonged in the college football level. Okay? So he had they dropped the game to Ohio State by 1 because the kid in the end zone couldn't catch a touchdown pass. Why? Well, you can't catch a wide open pass. We'll never know. Steve Sarkisian completely coached us out of the Florida game, but he has us in prime position where if we go win the next 2 games against Georgia and Texas A&M, we go play Alabama in the SEC championship. He's done exactly what he's supposed to do. He throws a great ball. He has a nice touchdown to completion. The receivers got to be better. The O-line's got to be better. And when you lose 4 guys to the NFL on your O-line alone, and then you lose your 3 receivers to the NFL, you're playing with a whole bunch of new guys. Our best receiver is a true freshman. Arch Manning is definitely a boom, and I look to see him next year to win the Heisman.
Ooh. I like that. So this is my take real quick. I do not think that his pelotas have dropped yet in college ball. And I think that with all the pressure that he's had, I mean, he's got like 14 elephants on top of him. Let's just be honest there. With the name number 1, being number 2, and being expected to have won 6 national championships before he even got into college ball. I think he's going to be a boom. But the one thing that I think is he definitely needs to graduate. And I know people are going to disagree there because I think he needs the experience. And I think he is going to be better than his uncle, Peyton. So I'm going to give this, since I set it up for Brandon and kind of wasn't expecting his answer. I figured he would be a little bit more hot. But he stayed in control with controlling the W on this one. Brandon gets the W. I like it. That a boy, Rook.
So what I heard was every Texas fan needs to go buy SEC championship tickets. That's what I heard. But anyway.
Okay. Now, the Cy Young came out yesterday. You all know that Paul Skeens and Tariq Skubal won. In your opinion, gentlemen, do you guys think that there should have been somebody else, and why? Brandon, go ahead and start.
No, I didn't see a better pitcher in baseball than Paul Skeens. He was the only one I was actually impressed with. Now, unfortunately, all right, so I know how the awards work in football. I don't know how they work in baseball. Do they count that after the World Series or before the World Series? Because Yamamoto would be the only one that I would see have an argument. Outside of that, Paul Skeens was the best pitcher in baseball. They wasn't even close.
Okay. My understanding, and it has always been, is they have all their votes in before the World Series starts. That's my understanding.
Yes.
Okay?
What Yamamoto did in the World Series was impressive, but Paul Skeens was by far the best pitcher in baseball this year.
I agree.
He had a sub-2 ERA for a long time.
Yeah, still did at the end of the season. He had a 1.97, by the way. Went 10-10.
Is he left-handed or right-handed?
24. Paul Skeens is right-handed pitcher. All right, Corey, you're next.
Paul Skeens, if you'd have put him anywhere besides Pittsburgh, he would not have just been 10-10. The man would have been a easy 20-game winner. You put him with Skubal, that's the 2 best pitchers in baseball. You got your righty, you got your lefty. Skubal carried Detroit. You saw when Skubal kind of struggled with 6 starts what Detroit did. They almost lost out on the Central, But at the end of the year, he came back again, firing on all cylinders. Skeen did it all year long with no offense, none. Had the lowest ERA in the major leagues, and his team, that they call a team, Pittsburgh, couldn't even score 2 runs a game when he pitched. pathetic. Paul Skeens and Scooble are the only two in baseball that should have won that in American League and National League, in my opinion.
Copy that. I like it. Dio.
So I think they got it right. Scooble in the American League, Skeens in the National League, but I will say this: Scooble had a rough ending to the season on his outings. He went on a losing streak. And I will say that the Guardians did a good job taking the Central, but in the end, Scooble showed what he was made of in that playoff series against Cleveland, and I have to tip my hat more to Scooble than I do Skeens. I watched Skeens in college, great pitcher. This guy is probably going to be sought after by the Dodgers and the Yankees down the road. He's going to end up wearing one of those uniforms because that's what they love to do. They don't develop the farm system. They just look for other teams who have the talent and they go buy it. However, Skeens was, in my opinion, playing on the Pirates, which was not a very good team. He did a hell of a job, but when I have to look at an MVP of a team and the Cy Young for the pitcher, Scooble definitely showed what he was made of.
Nice. Hot Rod.
Paul Skeens is that guy that no matter where you put him, he's going to be a dominant pitcher. Scooble is that guy that also will command the game more in the sense of taking over when it's needed. If you had put Skeens on either another team, he would have been at least a 15-game winner. Scooble has had multiple 20-game win seasons. Ultimately, I think they're both on the same plane, but ultimately, we got to question how long Skeens is going to last mentally and physically if he stays on the Pirates long term. Because ultimately, his talent's too good for what they have put with him.
Good take. Good take. Okay, so a couple of things. Paul Skeens. A lot of people say he's a pitcher. I still think he's a thrower. I still think that he needs to figure out how to pitch in the majors. Don't get me wrong, 1.97, but when you're throwing 102, you got to understand that you're missing too many locations, in my opinion. Now, was he the most dominant pitcher in the National League? Yeah, let's just throw that out there first and foremost. It's going to be scary when he actually learns how to pitch. And I know you guys sit there and go, oh, no, he can't get better. He can't get better. Oh, he's going to get better. And I see him probably a sub 1.8 ERA. Now, Scooble, something I noticed from his first 12 to 15 starts, he did have an injury. So he did change his windup and stretch in those last 6-7 start stretch. That was not good. He must have went back and watched film on the first half of the season, because when he was in the playoffs, he looked like the old Scooble and he didn't change his stretch or windup, and he was actually a lot smoother, not as quirky. The Dodgers, you said that the Dodgers don't develop teams. They do have, or develop their ball players. They do have one of the best farm systems in the major leagues right now. As much as I truly, truly, truly hate to say it being a Giants fan, they do. Let's just be honest there. The best take for me on this one, gentlemen, was Rod. I liked your take. Good job, sir. I liked it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So right now, here's what the scores are. We've got Dio 2, Brandon 1, Corey 1, Rod 2. So the next question, and this is the last question, gentlemen. All right, here we go. Tomlin doubts. Okay. I know that Dio is going to have a lot to say on this one, so you're going to go first, Dio. Let's go.
Okay. At the beginning of every season, I don't watch preseason. I just always have the saying, in Tomlin, I trust. And I love the guy. I think he is a great coach for us. There's times where I think he was out-coached in a few games, maybe made the wrong decisions. But at the end of the day, the guy has been a winner. He has yet to have a losing season in Pittsburgh. And there's not many teams over the longevity of Tomlin's career that can say they did not have a losing season. From an NFL fan, look, I'll take that any day for the simple fact that you're not going to win the Super Bowl every year. Let's just be honest. I mean, you had the Chiefs winning it back to back, but other than that, nobody's ever won 3 straight Super Bowls, consecutive years. Okay, the Patriots have 6, Pittsburgh's got 6. You got your Niners with 5, but Niner fans would love to have a winning season every year. I mean, Rodney, Carolina Panthers, he'd love to have a winning season every year. So, at the beginning of the year, I always feel comfortable with the fact that we are going to have at least a winning season because that's what he does. If the man wants to retire at the end of the year, I wish him the best, maybe go into broadcasting. But if he wants to stay, I'll keep him because I think we'll have a winning season every year, except this year. I am calling this now. I think this is Tomlin's first losing season. There's just not enough consistency. And look, things happen eventually. Time is your enemy. And, you can't be great every year.
Copy that.
So
Hot Rod, let's go, baby.
When it comes to Tomlin, he is one of the best coaches in the league as far as wins because he has not had a losing season yet. But ultimately, you got to look at the playoff exits. The playoff exits are one and done when they get there. That's where the fans are crying about a new change. The Pittsburgh organization is not one to fire their coach. They're going to put him to retire. Ultimately, I think he's earned enough cachet to stay as long as he wants. But at the same time, the fans deserve the playoff wins that they want, whether they're getting up or not getting there. A lot of time it's not just getting up with the fans. They want results. So that's where the organization's going to have to sit down and come up with a plan of when they make a change and he retires.
All right.
I didn't know. I thought you asked Rod the question, not RFK. That was weird. But anyways, go ahead.
That was weird. That
It sounded like RFK talking.
Yeah. Huh. Corey.
Mike Tomlin is, for everybody as NFL fans, we want our coaches, we want them to win every year. Mike Tomlin has done that. Mike Tomlin is taking, you look at the quarterbacks he had last year. They had a winning record. How many coaches could you say would have taken either one of those 2 quarterbacks to a winning record? We see the Jets record this year with Justin Fields. We see where Russell Wilson's at. Everybody gave so much credit to Big Ben when he was there, but Mike Tomlin assembles a good team. He takes what he's given and he builds a winner. That defense is older than Dio combined, and they play like it. But you know what? He still has them in games. Yet the offense sputters, but he still has them in games. He's never had a losing season. When he does retire or, walks away, whatever, he is going to be a Hall of Fame coach. And as a Cowboy fan that hasn't won a Super Bowl in 30 years, I would love to have a coach every year that had a winning record, at least because I at least know, hey, we got a shot. Because with Tomlin as your coach, you've got a shot. Just wait. Yeah, they haven't had the playoff success lately. But I wouldn't count him out.
All right, Rook.
Look, every year this time of year, we have this conversation. Are the Steelers not going to make it? Are the Steelers not going to make it? For 50 years, you guys have been telling me that Mike Tomlin is not going to make the playoffs. Now you have a 4-time MVP, and I understand Aaron Rodgers is older, and he doesn't look like the 4-time MVP. But he didn't just wake up and forget how to throw the football, guys. He is still a Super Bowl champion. You have Mike Tomlin, who is a Super Bowl winning coach, and they are going to put this thing together. Now I understand that your defense is long in the tooth, but they made some moves before the deadline, and you still have some backups at a young Will Howard. I understand Will Howard's hurt, but you got Mason Rudolph back there. He actually took them to the playoffs. So I think that y'all are forgetting that Tomlin knows how to make adjustments and knows how to coach and knows how to get it done. And so Aaron Rodgers may not be able to get it done, but in Mike Tomlin, I trust.
Ooh, short and sweet. Dang, that's impressive. So this is my thought on Tomlin. Has anybody taken this aspect? Maybe Tomlin's done with Pittsburgh. Maybe he's just burnt out on Pittsburgh. Maybe he thinks that he needs a different venture, a different thought to spark him, because what I'm seeing, a guy that's been in his job too long at one place and is kind of getting a little bit tired of it. And it seems like he's just going through the motions instead of focusing on what needs to be done and winning Super Bowls. I don't know. We'll never know, because that will never come out. But, best take on this one is going to have to be, God, this is a tough one. Part of me wanted to say Rod, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. Sorry, Rod, your technical aspect was gone, so that crosses you out. I like Dio's aspect. I like Brandon's, and I like Corey's. But I'm going to actually go with the winner with 3 points today, Dio.
All right. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, like Meatloaf said.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. You know what, Rod? You didn't pay enough in sausages there today, did you?
No, I didn't pay enough in Giants gear, damn it.
You know it.
Great questions this week, Eric. Great questions. I love them.
Great questions.
Good questions.
Good job, Eric. Hell of a job.
Yeah,
Just absolutely. In case anybody wanted to know, Eric is the actual GM. I'm just here, and so are the other guys having fun. Eric puts this show together, the GM himself. Hell of a job. Thank you. We greatly appreciate you. Hey, I know we got some sponsors out there. So, gentlemen, Brandon, go ahead and start.
Heaven Sent, Hellbait, and Gear. Go to hshbgear.com. 15% off with promo code MARRIED.
Cool. Hot Rod.
StylesApparel.com. That's Styles with the Z. www.stylesapparel.com, where we put you in style.
Copy that. And if you didn't get that, it's Styles Apparel with a Z. StylesApparel.com, folks. Okay. Corey.
Hey, I don't have a sponsor right now to go with, but you know what? You can find me at Sportsnut17 at TikTok, but better yet, go watch us on Married to Sports podcast. We are on YouTube. We are on TikTok. We were on every place. Go see us. You will enjoy it.
You will. Dio, what do you got, my friend?
I'm also part of the Married to Sports podcast. As Corey was saying, check us out. Nightly, there is I'm a Say It podcast on TikTok. Yeah, also at Diabolical One on TikTok and at Rodney or Hot Rod Eye on Sports. We stream games every night. Come check us out. We have a lot of fun. Come up in the box. Tell us what let's get it going. You can also reach me at diabolical.legion@gmail.com. Diabolical.legion@gmail.com.
Love it. Hey, guys, and I'm your host. I'm Chris with Getaway Games Sports. Paratravelers is my host. I can get you, or my sponsor, one of them, get you anywhere you want to go around the world. That's PERATRAVELERS.net, as well as dugoutmugs.com. Great time of year to get those Christmas gifts, folks. Getaway 20 is your code to get a discount. Do you guys?
Hey, before we go, I would like to thank Derek on Brandon's side. He is our little cheerleader. No matter what, if you hear him, he is awesome. He is great. He helps us. And when Rod doesn't make sense, he honks his horn.
Oh, leave me alone.
Now your
Corey.
microphone works.
Go back
What
to
the
bed,
hell?